time for me. It was just like the fall after Leroy had died. He was like one of my best friends, and I was down and I was depressed, and hence why I was eating donuts and ice cream, because I just sort of fell apart for a couple of months, and I needed to do something, and I needed to let out the feelings that I was feeling, and I think that probably has a little bit to do why this movie has to do some with grief. It was something that was just on my mind a lot. But at the same time, when I came up with the plot, and I guess I should tell you about the plot of the story before I keep on telling you about the plot of the story. But the plot is a guy named Ben. He's in his late 20s. He's grown up resentful of his dad because his dad was a workaholic and left him alone a lot. And he was resentful of this, and so when he grew up, he just left his dad. He never saw him for like years. He never talked to him, never called him, until his dad was on his deathbed, and he came back to see him. He told his dad, "I'll be back in 3 weeks," but in that time, his dad died. He came back just full of guilt and grief, and he didn't really know what to do with it. And he runs into his friend Dylan. And his friend Dylan is just a real partying dude, He has a big heart, but he sees him and he knows his dad has died. He just came from the funeral, and he was just like, "Well, man, I'm sorry about your dad, but I'm going to this party tonight. You want to come out to it?" But he says that in the most loving way, because to him, he just wanted to get him out of the house, And the only place that he knew about was this party. So he wanted to get him out, but there ensues this whole journey. He meets all these different people who sort of lead him to something that he is looking for. And this goes on through the night until dawn. And the second part of this movie is is it real or is it not real? It's very much a dream, but it's very beautiful. The entire movie is very beautiful. And it's, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's been a long thing. It was a really long process. It took us 3 years to make the movie, and it will be 4 years since we started in October. So it's really cool to see that it's finally going to be seen by an audience, and I love this movie, and I'm so happy to share it. Obviously, it's the kind of movie that I like. But I think it's also going to be the kind of movie that you guys are going to like too as well. So next I want to just play for you the scene when I was just telling you about Dylan, Ben's friend who sees him the day of his funeral. This is the party that he takes them to. This is the bonfire scene from Faces in the Mirror.